I'm new.
You're new. You're new to the world.
You just birthed me.
You're a baby boy.
I am a baby boy.
What's a young man your age doing with a old man like me?
Well, to be honest, it wasn't consensual, but honestly, this just sounds like a good time, and I thought we could make a lot of laughs out of it, and hopefully one day I could be in your position or higher.
What does that even mean?
What does that even mean?
My position or higher?
Your position or higher. Well, I kind of like how you're streaming and everything, and I want to copy that.
Let's not talk about that.
You want to talk about that?
No, I am nowhere.
No, I mean, I like where
I am just the uphill battle of content creation has been absolutely bogus for the last few years. I remember thinking it was going to be so easy. When I first started diving into it, and everything was so smooth. That first year, I was making money, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
Well, I think that's like the moment of inspiration where like there's like that Greek tragedy. Zeus had punished this dude, and he had to infinitely push a rock up a hill, right? And
should I know about this? Did I learn about this in school?
No.
Okay.
A coworker told me about this one. And he infinitely pushed the rock up the hill, and he convinced himself that the difficulty is what made him stronger. And that's whatever I look to whenever I'm in the gym, because the difficulty of him pushing the rock made him stronger. So what you should probably...
You look really built.
Do I look really built?
Yeah.
But maybe you should think about it that way, you know? You're like,
no, there was actually something really... I don't want this to be a positive thing. We're getting really positive.
You're getting positive.
It's weird.
You're getting positive.
But I heard something really interesting. Who told me it? Or I think it was honestly just a fucking video I was scrolling through and I saw it, and it said, what was it called? It's some kind of paradox. It was, I'm gonna fuck this up. I have to go. I have to go
bring it to you.
1 mile away, and I have to walk it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but if I had to go 2 miles, I'd drive. So if the situation was a little bit worse, it'd be easier. So it's like this weird paradox where if things don't get bad...
So you're telling me if I had a gun to your head right now, you'd be a better streamer? Is that what you're saying?
No. I mean, I would try more, I guess. I'd try a little bit more. But I think if things don't get bad, you never push yourself to be better.
Mm-hmm. And
I think that's... like, it sucks because I'm already super complacent, and I think things should be worse so that I would try more, because I'm pretty...
The way that I think about it is when I'm trying to get something done, if I'm not limited, I find that difficult to do. So like, if you tell me I got to go somewhere, like you're 1 mile versus 2 miles walking or versus a car, right? If you told me that my car only had a certain amount of gas, my phone's only a certain battery, with you add on a bunch of stipulations, I find that easier to do because it narrows down my options and narrows down to like how, like, it makes me go, this is the only way I can do it, and I narrows my mind. By limiting yourself more and understanding an audience, then it pushes you to do things. Like, name a single streamer you know that's super popular for playing My Little Pony Dream Time Adventure.
Oh, see, there's another paradox there, because everything's personality based. So there is people that can be successful playing whatever they want just because of their personality, or you have to fall into the niche of doing something so specific to cater to that specific audience because you're not that interesting. And that's because you think of people like fucking Markiplier or Donkey or PewDiePie.
They can play just about anything, and people will still suck their dick about it. Like, I've seen, I had a girlfriend years ago that said that Markiplier is the hottest, best guy, and she watched him.
Have you seen? He's gorgeous.
He's all right.
No, he's not. He's perfect.
He's got big muscles and long, luscious hair, and he's got no. Okay, he's attractive, sure. This is the same motherfucker who said he'd fuck a chicken, and he had a box named Tim. Yeah. And he's teaching me about life and death. So like, some people get away with shit like that.
Yeah,
you know?
well, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you're allowed to grow. You're allowed to change. I think of. Yeah. I mean, if you're thinking about like content creators just changing over time, I think of almost every single one that I watched at the dawn of YouTube, when YouTube was horrifying.
And when it was called
2006.
it wasn't even called YouTube. It was called like Max's Place or something. No, it wasn't Max.
What?
No, I'm thinking of Twitch. Twitch was
called Justin TV.
Justin TV. That's what it was.
And YouTube was always YouTube, but it was a dark place. I uploaded some dark videos, and they're gone. They were taken off YouTube back then.
Yikes!
Okay? I got a video taken down because it represented child violence. And it wasn't. It was.
Which is really coincidental with you saying that I'm here against my will.
Yes, the door is locked, but you can leave if you call the police. That's the deal.
My phone. If I reach for my phone, are you gonna?
Something might happen.
Okay,
but you can leave if you try.
I
won't make it easy.
Get me out of here.
No, but I uploaded this. But we made these videos called Laser and Bosco, and you won't be able to find it, which is fucking stupid. I get so mad because it's like the YouTube garbage that would have done so good today. Like this is like Filthy Frank, like Pink Guy. Like this is around that time, and it was just as good.
When you did this? How old were you?
You
said it was
like 18.
You're 18.
Yeah, I'm old.
I was born, and you were hitting puberty.
No, I hit puberty. I was a late bloomer.
You were a late bloomer. I hit puberty at 9. Speaking of 9,
you don't even look like you fucking hit puberty yet. That doesn't even make sense.
There's a stash right here. I put them.
So you had the little baby stash at 9.
Yeah,
but it hasn't grown since.
No, I that was like when I went like very early like voice cracks and shit. And then it wasn't until I was like 11 that I started growing like facial hair and other shit started happening. But
I don't believe anything you're saying. Right?
Yeah,
I don't believe anything you're saying.
Neither does anyone else.
Okay, back to my thing.
Well, I did the same thing when I was 9. When I was 9, it was like.
But it was probably a lot worse. Yes. You're not funny when you're 9. Usually, I really like to argue with children. I don't know why.
No, you argue with me a lot.
No, but like children. I don't know what it is. I think because. I shouldn't say that. We'll move on.
No,
because I can't harm them physically, so I like to harm them mentally.
But you the thing is, you do stupid things when you're young and you don't know. Well, that was like the Wild West. No one knew the Wild West of the internet. No one knew what was like entertaining yet.
No. Well, I guess we did, but we didn't. It wasn't cultivated. It wasn't. What's the word?
It wasn't refined.
It wasn't refined. That's the word. It was so raw and obnoxious. Like I think of Filthy Frank or
oh yeah,
Max Mofo or any of that, and I'm like, how was this allowed?
They had to be relating it back to like the Wild West again. You know, it wasn't civilized. So they were just like...
It was dangerous.
It was dangerous. They had to do weird, crazy shit to get noticed. And that was eventually what got popular. And then eventually some asshole learned that he could record him playing a video game.
Or like long plays used to be a big thing. But
I still think that video game AMVs should be a thing.
Yeah, anime music videos? Dude, for real? That was... some of my favorite bands I found just from shitty YouTube videos.
What, like Skillet?
No, not Skillet. God damn it. Dude, but back to this fucking story. God damn it.
This is me mentally breaking you down.
I made these videos that got deleted. They all got deleted because they were violent, but they weren't really violent. It was a show called Laser and Bosco where me and my buddy Ian, we played cops. He was Laser, I was Bosco. And it was like a buddy cop show.
That's kind of cool.
It was awesome.
That name is cool.
It was great. Laser and Bosco, yeah. And everything was ad-libbed and stuff, but there was we did like a backstory. And my buddy Cody Booth, he played the child version of Laser, and he got choked out by his dad, who was our buddy. And it was his birthday. It was his birthday party, and his dad said, "I hate you. You're like a mistake." And then he like choked him out, and he said, "Go to sleep. Go to sleep." He got taken down.
You know what? I think that's justified.
Yeah, it was justified. He was an awful child, and in Laser became a great cop because of that. But it got taken down. And then there was also...
I think if you were a little more tongue-in-cheek or subtle about that, then that would have been...
Yeah.
It would not only would have been like necessarily more successful, and like if that was a movie, I feel like that, like a Tarantino movie, that's what you did is a Tarantino movie.
No,
right?
It's a good segue. Okay, so we did 3 episodes of that, okay? Mm-hmm. And it led into a movie. Oh. And this is where I'm serious. This is where
you were doing HBO shows.
Yes,
before
this is
HBO
where
was popular.
I've been obsessed with like videography and like sound design for my whole life. And the 3 episodes were cool. We had like all this cast of characters. There was a like one of the main villains was the wizard, and he was my buddy Eric, but he didn't want to talk on camera. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Just move your hands, and we'll say you're telepathic, and we'll voice over all your lines. So he's this wizard that's killing all these people, but he just talks with his hands. And then my friend Ian would just say random shit like while he was moving his hands. So like we would like overdub these like ridiculous sayings that were so like not vulgar, but like gruesome. But he had this goofy smile because he was shy and he was like moving his hands, but he would make him say like the worst things with his brain, with this lisp and stuff. It was awful. But we decided to do a Laser and Bosco movie, and it was just about done. It was about an hour and a half, like full length. And me and Ian had a falling out, and he deleted it.
No.
And I was so sad. The production was bad, but it was very cute and clever, and I'm mad that it's gone forever.
Have you ever thought about trying Laser and Bosco again?
No.
Or something
and
similar?
That's only because it doesn't work in today's landscape. Now, everything is people want quick content. It's funny because
it's instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
That's why
I'll
TikTok
like spend
and, like,
8
Instagram Reels
hours
work so
editing
well.
down a video. You know, I did like fucking Resident Evil 4 thoughts and impressions video. Nothing. No one fucking cares. But I'll post like this 15-second clip on YouTube Shorts, which is great. YouTube Shorts is genius. And it'll get, you know, quintuple the views immediately in 10 seconds. And I'm like, that was easy. Took no time at all. I spent 8 hours rendering and editing this one video that no one fucking cares about. Like, it sucks.
Here's a positive thing that we can take away from the whole conversation about this part. Something I learned from an author's name's Mark Manson. He wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which is one of the best books I've read.
I've never read the whole thing, but I've read excerpts from it.
He wrote a sequel. It's the blue one. It's called
the blue one.
The blue one.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I remember it. It's like The World's Fucked, but that's okay. A book about hope. So the first one's a self-help book. The second one is like, hey, I get you're stressed. It's okay. It's going to be all right. It's kind of a pat on the back.
Yeah.
But in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, he says, I forget the exact quote, so that'll be something to remember later. But
yeah,
he essentially teaches that if you're feeling unmotivated about something, but it's something you want to do, but you're just unmotivated to do it, it's the thought that you're confusing yourself with motivation equals action, when action equals motivation.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good one.
So in the beginning, it's rough. It is not easy. You'll sit there and you're going to be bashing your head against the wall about it. So say you want to write. Force yourself every day to write 200 words. Just punch out 200 words, or for 4 hours, you're just sitting there, lights off. Well, I guess not lights off if you're writing, but
blindfolded, lights off.
Yeah, handcuffed behind your back.
Right.
No, yeah, basically, put yourself in the mindset that you have to do this or you're going to die. By doing that every day, eventually you build a routine, and your body will, or your mind or your body will want to keep up with that routine because you've done it. Like every morning you eat breakfast, brush your teeth, take a shower, whatever. It's routine.
Some people.
You know, I find showering to be very difficult.
Same.
Eventually, you'll trick yourself into wanting to do it, and you'll be motivated to do it. So, like going to the gym, right? I hated going to the gym in the beginning, but I wanted to do it because I want to look good.
Yeah.
Because I don't. And that first day at the gym, I remember hating myself. I was like, man, I can't pick up this fucking bar. It's 45 pounds. I can't fucking pick this thing up. So I'm like, all right, I'll do this instead. I can't do this either. So I worked my way down to calisthenics. So I'm paying for a gym membership that I couldn't do. But then what happened? I go the next week. I'm picking up that 45-pound bar. And then eventually every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, now I want to go to the gym.
Yeah, that's good.
Like every morning I wake up and I'm like, go to work, go to the gym. Like that's what I want to do. I'll be there for an hour and then I go, fuck it. Leg time, 2 hours, 3 hours. Like you eventually just want to keep going. So motivation is, think about what you want really hard. Like close your eyes and really think about it. Really, those anime waifus are really crossing your mind, aren't they? I can tell.
I'm still fucking thinking about Markiplier.
Say you want to, so we'll use in the mindset of like streaming, right? If you really want to get big, you really want to stream, find what works, because there are priorities, you know?
Yeah.
And if you can't find a reason to not do it that does not intervene with your priorities, then you do it.
Yeah. I think that's...
So I'm going to go for a jog right now. So
No, it's a good call out because like sometimes it's like we throw around the word unmotivated a lot. And I think we don't know exactly what that means.
Well, I think the world's been convinced that it's okay to be unmotivated.
Unmotivated means laziness.
It is lazy.
You're lazy, because there's times where I'm unmotivated and I use that word like, oh, I'm just unmotivated. But just being lazy.
Yeah.
And what I need to
100%.
do is not fun. What I need to do is not comfy. What I need to do is not what is like the first thing that pops in my head. It's, I have to force myself.
Yeah.
And that's motivation, is doing something against the goat, something against
I
the
think
current.
that's more so dedication. That's will.
Yeah, okay. But when you're starting at the bottom, I think there's so much, like the bar is not high. For any content creation, I will tell anybody, the bar is not high. It's all personality based. So like
you have to have already had it born within you, or you know how to trick people to think it was born within you.
Yeah, because I hate to say it, but sometimes there's people who like ask me for advice or ask me for tips on how to get started. And not that I'm an expert, but in my head, I'm thinking there is no possible way you can survive because you are fucking boring. Like,
yeah,
and that's
the only talent that comes from content creation is tricking people into thinking you're interesting. That's the only talent.
That's it. That's all there is.
If you're already interesting and you're already entertaining, then you're not trying and you're not talented, and then you're winning. You know, it's like to get a girlfriend. You're either funny or you're good looking. You can't be both.
Damn, I know which category I'm in. It's annoying being in love with it so much and not like I consume so much of it. I love watching podcasts. I love watching, different YouTubers and stuff. And I don't watch it out of envy. I don't watch it for inspiration. I do
watch
a little
it because
bit.
you like it.
I watch it because I like it. And then it's weird. God, there's even some people that I've watched grow so much exponentially over the last year. If I would have had that kind of tunnel vision, I would be there. Like I see the only channel that is even working for me is my music review one. And that's because it's dumb easy.
Is that Bad Musician?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's easy. And not that it's doing well, but I see the algorithm working immediately.
Yeah.
And if I were to do that 2 times a week, I would have 100,000 followers by the end of the year. Like no doubt whatsoever. But
that would be all you're doing.
That'd be all I'm doing. And I want to do so much. I love to stream. I love to write music. This is a new project that I feel like I'll really like. And
I'm liking it.
It's just like, I'm casting a wide net and I'm trying to see what works, but that's probably will be my downfall, is trying so many different things and working, like I also work a 40+ hour job. So it's like, but I'm too dumb to quit. Like I've been in entertainment my whole life. It was mostly music up until recently.
Well, like you said, you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like whether you're watching it or whether you're doing it, and that goes for anything, whether it's reviewing or doing a review.
Yeah.
So it's not even so much, I think, like if you're stable enough in life and you're happy with what you're doing.
I guess I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I love my job, but would I love to not have it? You bet your ass.
Oh yeah.
It'd be great.
If I could be paid to be a sexy OnlyFans girl and get paid to pretend to be good looking, then yeah, I'd do that.
I don't get your sentiment there.
I feel like they do nothing all day. They take 100 pictures on a Saturday and they post it all around.
You said pretending to be sexy.
Yeah, pretending.
I'm sure a lot of them are genuinely sexy. I know how filters work, dog. I'm saying if you can pull off an OnlyFans, fuck yes. That's awesome. Yeah. I think that's great.
Which, by the way, the OnlyFans algorithm is dog shit.
There's not really an algorithm.
No, I mean like... I guess the algorithm is wrong. It's how you find people is garbage.
Because there's no... If they were able to have an app, it'd be different. But legally, they can't.
I know. And
that's why...
But it's funny because that's like the most successful female market in America.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you?
Do you have an OnlyFans?
No.
Damn it.
If there was a bigger market, fuck yeah, sure, dude. Which is weird because a huge demographic of mine is gay men. Which I'm honored. I think it's fucking great. I think it's great.
That is great. It's just that I just didn't expect to hear that coming out.
So they might sub. I wouldn't have an expensive sub.
Here's something I just thought of, right? So I learned this when I was learning about stocks, right? Which I know. Don't worry, it relates. You may think that timing the market is most important. Like, oh my God, S&P 500 is on the rise. I got to buy now so that I can sell when it starts to dip. Wrong. It's time in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Put $100 in somewhere that you can reliably think will grow, right? Or even anywhere really, and give it a year. The guy who in a year put his money in to sell 6 months later is worse off than where you are putting your $100 in now in a year and 6 months selling out. So using that,
Connect the dots. I'm confused.
I'm connecting the dots. Onlyfans does not have a very big market for gay men.
Yeah.
Even for performers who aren't gay. We'll just say there's not a very big market to watch men.
Yeah.
You can. There's nothing stopping you. Put yourself in that market. Get yourself in there.
So you're telling me to get an OnlyFans?
I'm telling you to get an OnlyFans.
All right. Well,
now, that's not.
Think. I said I'm casting a wide net, dog. Still probably won't, but I might.
Well, okay.
Thank you for the encouragement.
I'm not just saying this for OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But that's probably what Filthy Frank did, for example. Like back in YouTube, no one gave a shit about YouTube back in the day. He just did it.
Well, even his music career was a gamble.
Yeah.
And he did it. He's like, you know what? I love music. I'm going to try it. And now he's one of the best selling artists on the planet.
But they were all doing it right before it was popular, which I think that's kind of where the struggle is right now, is that there isn't a media or market that's introduced as of recently that is not popular enough for someone to get time in there and then release it. All the markets that people are even interested in or even are remotely thinking about are already saturated and already developed. Twitch, what do you got? You got Asmongold, Pokimane.
I think those are the only two streamers.
Yeah. I've never seen another streamer in my whole life. Podcasts are difficult, but it works.
See, podcasts are interesting because they died and then they came back. And they came back because of the visual aspect. People that want to start a podcast without a visual aspect, like, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Because you're covering so many bases. But like, I like that you mentioned that there's no new medium that isn't overly saturated, and we haven't had a new medium in a long time. I think 1 year ago now, there was a new platform called Hover that came out that I thought, no, it was great. It was a TikTok just for video games, and it was TikTok for streamers and stuff. And I'm like, wow, I'm in on this early.
Yeah, get in.
That's
there.
exciting. And then it shut down. It didn't say anything. Just you try to open up the app one day, shut down, Google it. Hover does not exist anymore. And what happened was, and this is such a weird dichotomy, it was a brand new medium that wasn't saturated. But because it wasn't saturated, it was saturated immediately by people like me who wanted to be a part of a new medium, and it was saturated immediately and didn't work.
And I think that's why it like has to have like a second step. So like YouTube, the only YouTube would not have worked even a little bit. It would have taken one step and died if it wasn't relying on the internet being kind of new. The internet was still kind of
the internet wasn't new.
Well, it wasn't. Not saying new. It was still the Wild West. I'm going to relate it to that again. It was people.
Yeah, there was no like memes or anything.
Yeah,
yet.
People were still.
It was still pretty early on.
People were still figuring out what you could do with it and what you could put on it, what could be taken from it. So YouTube having an entire platform where you can just post videos and anybody can look at them and they could comment on them, like them, dislike them. They can share them around. That was, I mean, something else probably already did that. But that was fairly new. And it was on the internet where people were still kind of getting used to it. Like today, my grandma's on the internet every fucking day. But back in like...
On OnlyFans?
But back in 2008, but back in 2008 or 7 or whatever, as far as I can remember, she'd see any of us in my family on the internet and she'd be like, oh, you should go outside. You know, that thing's not going to do anything. That's not going to go anywhere. I think that's why podcasts work so well if you're not just doing a podcast. It's like if you look at any big podcast, they're not just a podcast host. Like the biggest example I could think of, I think it's like the biggest podcast ever, is Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah.
He was a UFC coordinator. He was on, or commenter. He was on Fear Factor. He's got to have done a bunch of other things. He's got weird looking nipples, so like the guy's got a lot of stuff going for him.
Yeah.
And making the podcast was just the straw that broke the camel's back for his popularity. And that's where I think it got popular. He was already in the market. So then people like Markiplier who have he has a podcast, I forget the name of it. There's like the Misfits podcast. They're all streamers, YouTubers. Yeah. There's podcasts for fucking everything.
Yeah.
Like I get recommendations to watch a podcast that's breaking down Sun Tzu's The Art of War. It's cool as shit, by the way. But like, you know, there's things like that. But there's so many opportunities. So in order to make a podcast work, unless it's storytelling or discussing like political events or something like that, or an interview, unless it's those specific niches, you have to be doing something outside of it. So like what you and I are doing, right?
Yeah.
You're a streamer, you're a musician, you already got other outlets. Not saying those are your only forms of income, but that's how you're ranking in other people to come in and then go, hey, listen to me be a shithead for an hour.
Yeah.
That's what that's doing.
Yeah.
And that's great. That works. People like Theo Vaughn, he's on podcasts a lot. Theo Vaughn is already
I love him so much.
yeah, he's
dude.
funny. He's already a comedian.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a little different.
But he pretty much lives like the ecosystem of podcasts. Like he's in everything.
Oh yeah.
And
because
he's just the podcast
he's
guy.
the shiny Pokemon that everyone wants to catch.
Everybody wants him.
Because
yeah.
what does he do? Whatever he's on, he says something like, I once knew this guy in high school that he got ran over by a car, so I took his teeth and I
yeah.
and then what happens? That channel blows up.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You could grab
Yeah.
he's your get out of jail free card. He's your immediate win button. That's why
Yeah.
people want him. Jack Black's that way. People want Jack Black to talk to because he's great. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
That goes for movies too. Like every movie wants Jack Black. He plays fucking Bowser, dog.
Yeah.
Like, which I heard that movie's great. It outperformed Avatar 2.
It is the highest grossing animated film of all time.
$377 million.
Which is super cool because it's a video game movie.
Yeah.
And it's not Disney. It's Illumination, which is cool.
Isn't Illumination owned by... Oh, no, that's Universal Studios.
I don't know who owns it, but I know it's not Disney. I'm just glad it's not like a Disney. I mean, I'm not shitting on Disney, but like if like
it's good to see another market.
If a new like Moana 2 came out and like broke records, to be like, okay, yeah, we get it. You're Disney.
The movie it beat was Frozen.
Yeah, which is cool.
That was the #1 highest grossing animated film in history up until this one came out.
So I think I didn't see it yet, but Mario obviously bringing in a bunch of kids that now love Mario. That are going to love to go play Mario because of that movie.
Well, Nintendo can always just go, we need money. Bring in the Italian. Like,
yeah, it's exact 100%. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So that's good. But then also, you know, keeping stuff for us and whatever that guy was bitching about. I don't know what it was, but
he was bitching that the movie was trying too hard to be a Disney movie. And I
can see that, I guess, because Disney is like this monolith animation studio.
And I understand people going, I don't want a Disney movie. That's great. Only Disney movies.
What were they expecting?
They were expecting like the doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo and an Italian man squashing or fucking little brown people. What Goombas, that's what they're called.
Careful,
yeah. My bad.
You ain't wrong.
No,
he is racist. He's a monster. Absolutely.
Yeah, he goes.
He can't be stopped.
He's a colonizer.
He is a colonizer.
We're looking at me with Manifest Destiny 100,000 years ago
in a realm not his own, and he needs to be stopped.
Yeah, he's eating all
maybe in the
crops.
sequel.
Yeah, but no, video game movies I think are cool. Video games that are based off of movies are dog shit, but movies that are based off of video games are usually better. Like my lead example, they're usually entertaining. Even if they're not good movies, they're usually entertaining. Like,
give me 3 good ones.
3 good video game movies. Yeah. All right.
I have some in my head, but I don't see what yours are. You have some in your head?
Yeah. Okay. Assassin's Creed. I thought it was pretty good.
Never saw it. Not interested.
Okay. Well, I liked Assassin's Creed. It definitely is a movie that you had to play the games to then watch the movie.
It definitely is a movie.
But I think that's a part of it. You have to play the games to then watch the movie.
Why though?
Because it's catering to that audience. Why would they make a Hitman movie?
Is there trailing missions? Is there fucking...
There is. That's funny you say that. There is.
God damn it, Ubisoft.
Yeah,
okay.
they can't get away
from it. Okay, that's
number
1. What's your number 2?
Number 2, I didn't like it all that much, but I still found it entertaining because it's cool to see it. It was Hitman. They made 2 Hitman movies. They were both completely unrelated with each other. One was just, let's try it. Oh, that was bad. Let's try it again. When they tried it again, they screwed some shit up, but it was still entertaining to see a bald guy in a black and white suit with a red tie blend in, kill people with cool badass guns and badass ways. That's entertaining shit. Yeah. And I like seeing that. Granted, John Wick did it better, but I'm not going to give up the opportunity to see it, right?
Yeah.
I'd watch John Wick if I wanted to see John Wick. Third example, and of course you say this, I can't think of like a third movie. You know what? Actually, I did. Halo Forward Unto Dawn in like 2014, they made a Halo live action movie, very, very low budget, but it is infinitely better than the Halo TV show they made where it was Master Cheeks, where he got naked every 4 seconds.
I heard people liked it. Did people not like it?
No, it is bad.
Oh, really?
The guy, the actor, is like super, they were like, hey, how come you keep taking your helmet off? Like,
Oh, I did hear about that.
like you keep taking your helmet off, you keep getting beaten up. You're not the Master Chief. You're an imposter. Like you're doing things you're not that character. You're saying you are, and then you're doing things that a different character in a different movie
You're
would
an
do.
imposter.
And he goes, well, it's not canon, so like it's a different universe. And it's like, oh,
Yeah, of course.
thank you. That makes it better, right? No,
Yeah.
he still does like dog shit things that even like movies, it's like unrelated. If it was not Halo and it was Space Soldiers 20,048 or whatever, it would still be dog shit.
Yeah.
Less so. But the Halo Forward Unto Dawn movie was cool because it's canon. It relates to Halo 4, which is like a direct video game comparison because it was it wasn't released alongside, but it was like people are curious about a character because Master Chief and him like already knew each other, but he had never been brought up before. So this is like, oh, this is where he came from. This is what the Chief was doing before the games. This is some cool live action shit. Like there's a scene where just cool cinematic pieces done on a very low budget. Like he's like this guy's out of ammo and there's a shot coming at his face and he sees the bright pink crystal. The Master Chief comes out of nowhere and blocks it with his forearm and then flips around and does like a cool shot. It's just cool shit. I just want to see. That's why video game movies exist. It's just cool shit.
Yeah.
And
those were all wrong. Those were the wrong answers.
Uncharted was good too.
Oh, I want to see that. I'm a big Uncharted fan. I'm a big Tom Holland fan.
Yeah.
And I hear it's fun.
I like Mark Wahlberg. I shit on Mark Wahlberg a lot, but I secretly like him because I think he's entertaining.
He has been good
because he's always like this, and
yeah, he's done great things, but he's done a lot of bad things that he should be ashamed of.
He is
Transformers,
like when he beat the shit out of that Vietnamese guy in the 90s. I will bring that up till the end of time.
What is this?
It was when he was still a rapper. He was Marky Mark.
Yeah, I know.
And
I know Marky
he's
Mark.
apparently racially prejudiced against. I think it was a Korean or Vietnamese guy, and he like threw a haymaker at him and like broke his jaw.
Like just because he saw him and he said, "You know what? I choose violence."
Yeah, I guess so. Or
I'm sure there's a little bit more context.
Or maybe the guy was like, "Can I get an autograph?" Because I guess he knew Marky Mark, and he came whipping around, and he's like, "Right here, there's your autograph." For years and years, he'll be known as the guy that I punched the shit out of in the street.
Yeah.
But
I hope he got some money for it.
I'm sure he did. Apparently, the guy's not that upset about it. Speaking of actors, actually, there is one thing I wanted to talk about that I'm very happy to see, and something I've been waiting for since I was a child. Brendan Fraser coming back.
Oh yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
That is something I've wanted forever.
Yeah, he's king, man. Like my childhood, some of my favorite movies. Brendan Fraser, man. I mean, The Mummy, 1,
Blast
2,
from
and
the
3.
Past.
Blast from the. I love Blast from the Past. What was that one?
Encino Man.
Encino Man for sure. That one where he makes deals with the devil. Bedazzled.
Oh yeah, Bedazzled.
Bedazzled.
George in the Jungle.
George in the Jungle.
Wait,
Airheads.
Okay, what's really funny about George in the Jungle actually is that was a movie that everyone was like, yeah, this is going to be like The Pest, another John Leguizamo movie that's dog shit.
Yeah.
And it's going to fail. And then it was great.
It did great. Yeah.
He did great.
It did great.
And I feel for him because he had like the same career path as like Keanu Reeves. He was popular. Something really shitty in his personal life happened, and then he comes back and he makes a really badass movie later on in his life. It's like his first big movie since his career took a nosedive, and he got an Oscar and a 6-minute standing ovation.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it is because of him coming back.
It is.
Not so much. I mean, I haven't seen the movie either, so
No.
it could be incredible, but obviously... Well, it's A24. I'm a big fan of A24.
Oh, fuck, I should
Yeah, I think I hope it's A24. I could be wrong. But yeah, anything A24 I'm obsessed with. But it is a sad, brutally sad movie. And it's not usually something I reach out for, especially from A24. If it's A24, I want to see like a horror movie or something.
They're really good at making me feel uncomfortable and get invested. And I learned that when I watched The Lighthouse.
Lighthouse, yeah.
The Lighthouse taught me.
Is that your first A24 film?
To my knowledge, yes.
That's a weird first A24, but it's a good one.
I wanted to watch it because I love Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Or Willem Dafoe?
Willem, yeah.
Willem. I can praise it for everything it did. Story, great. They did everything well. Like everything was just the way it should have been. And that's why I found it so interesting. But it made me uncomfortable. And I thought, that was at a time in my life where I thought that insanity was something to be like glorified. It's like, oh yeah, it's insane in my mind.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't know what goes on up here. Like I thought that was edgy and cool. But I saw that and I'm like, no, that's gross. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to think like that anymore.
I think that movie was Robert Eggers. I could be wrong, but
Doesn't he do a lot of A24 movies?
not a lot.
I didn't like Midsummer.
What?
I did not like it.
Why?
Because I thought the character was unredeemable.
Which character?
The main character, the
girl?
The girl. I thought she was irredeemable.
She's unredeemable.
And
That's the whole point. She's a murderer.
Yeah, and I wish that more happened to her that was bad because I can't stand her.
She was there to be saved. Weird. I mean, like it's a culty thing, but they took her in immediately and said, "We're going to fix your problems." And
and I think that
it doesn't mean it's right.
No,
but that guy was a dickhead. I don't care that he got stuffed in a bear. Fuck that guy.
I don't know. I just I don't like movies where it's a terrible person that has good things happen to him because it's like
it's not good things though. She's like there's trauma from that. She might be happy for a minute. But if there was some reason a Midsummer Part 2, like she'd probably kill herself or something. She went through so much. And also by the end of the movie, she's high out of her mind.
Well, yeah. Well, okay, so then I guess maybe I should watch that again. It has been a while. I'll watch it again from the mindset of that I watched The Lighthouse. Yeah. I went into The Lighthouse knowing it was not going to end well. That is not a good ending. This is a story, not a tale. Or it's a tale, not a story. Stories have good endings. Tales are just events that happened.
Is that real? Is that like a real thing?
No, I just made that up. No, but maybe I should go in with the mindset of this is something that happened. It's not supposed to be right. It's not supposed to be good. This is something that happened. Obviously, it didn't, but you know what I mean. Or maybe it could have. Yeah. That cult shit happens all the time. What was that guy? The Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah. God damn it.
I still can't believe cult shit is like it is real and exists.
It's real, man. People want to believe in weird shit because
they want to believe that they don't have to do anything and their life will be all right. I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, for real, that's the stem of religion.
The biggest religions and like beliefs in the world is give your faith and give your belief and your money and your time.
I was saying, give your money, yeah.
Give your money. Give all of your everything to this thing that you'll never really see or interact with, but you'll just believe it's there.
There's a possibility that it'll be better.
And there's a chance that
do that. Yeah. It's weird.
And then people go their entire lives and then and then nothing happens and their life ends in a waste. But they're happy. So like whatever.
They're happy, yeah.
I mean, as long as they're not like eating babies or something.
I'm a philosophy major. I don't know if you know this.
You went to college?
Yes, I did, believe it or not.
That's the first time I'm hearing about this.
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought you barely graduated high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It's just the way you always talked about schooling.
I hate school. School sucks.
No, I know, but the way you always talk about it is like, man, this guy probably was out on his own at 13 and then like became a musician at 14. And then like your tale was going to be like
I was out on my own at 15.
No, I felt like your life was just like the less cool version of Tenacious D.
Oh yeah.
In the Pick of Destiny. Yeah. I thought that was the way your life was. So I didn't know you went to college.
Oh, that was cool. But yeah,
I feel like this looks like I'm disrespecting.
Did I graduate? No. You didn't let me finish.
I was right.
Yeah, I didn't. I graduated high school, just not college. So there's people that are so delusional that believe in these delusions or believe in these things, but I think there is absolute truth. I'm not saying I know absolute truth, but I know that there is an absolute truth.
Yeah, there is absolute. 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah. I mean, sure, but even other things. Yeah. There might be skewed things that we don't know all the way about.
2 inches is average.
Yeah, 2 inches is plenty.
Yeah,
I don't think that there shouldn't be freedom of religion. I don't think that at all. I think spirituality is fantastic, but when people get upset that you don't believe in something that hasn't been proven, I think it's such a weird thing that we've gotten to after thousands of years. Like I'm a worse person because I don't believe in something.
Yeah.
100%. I grew up in the church, so it's like
I'm not going to trash somebody what anybody does that makes them happy or makes them feel better because that's on them. It's actions that I think is destructive, and when the religion is making you act, or not even just religion, when beliefs are making you act in a destructive way towards other people, it's really it's harming your dignity and your preservation of your existence. Like drug addicts, for example. I know this is weird, but drug addicts are like a prime example of someone who is doing something that benefits themselves, but they very easily harm others.
Yeah.
Who defines belief? Or who defines what's right and wrong?
Well, exactly. That's the whole thing. Absolute truth. I believe there is absolute truth, and I'm not claiming to know it. But because I don't know it, and then me and Sarah talk about this all the time, like where I just don't care to know.
Yeah.
I don't. That's something so obscure and huge that I've wondered about my whole life. Now I'm to the point where it's like, well, do I
really give a shit?
I don't need to put that much effort. We'll see what fucking happens. You know what I mean? As long as people take care of each other and just don't outwardly be destructive towards another human being.
Mhm.
You know, like
I have a very I feel like people kind of read me incorrectly and they think that I'm like an asshole about a lot of things. When I say I don't care about something, it's not because I don't care and it's negative. It's not that it's negative. When I don't care about something, it's because it doesn't affect me. If I don't have an interest in it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, did you hear about the new or the 18th Final Fantasy? I don't play Final Fantasy.
you watch your goddamn mouth.
I don't play Final Fantasy. I don't care. That's what I mean. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm not saying it's not my thing, right? And that goes with myself for.
It's a bad example. I'm angry.
Okay, be that way. Stay mad. But I have an introverted mindset, but I have an extroverted personality. So everything, all my beliefs, I'm just introverted about. Just rolls on over. I don't care. Whatever. Well, I have a friend. He came out to me in high school. He's like, "Man, I think I'm gay." I was like, "All right. Do you want to play Smash or something?" Like, I don't know what do you want from me?
What, you want to smash?
You want to smash?
No.
No, I was like, it doesn't. I was like, good for fucking you. I don't care.
Yeah. I think not caring, circling back to the art of not giving a fuck.
Yeah,
It's not always a negative thing.
No, it's not. It's not a negative thing at all. They found Drake Bell. They found him.
Shocking news. He was lost. And
Now he's found.
Now he's found. Yeah. Story's over.
That's a religious tale, isn't it?
I guess.
Why
Was he lost? Did we know? I mean, I just saw the article this morning.
So did I.
Did he like run away because he wanted publicity or?
No, I remember when he had the whole thing going on with him touching him or talking to a minor, because that's every celebrity has to do that these days. Like every influencer has to touch a minor. I guess after the case, decided, you know what, I got to make a new life for myself. So he ran away to Mexico, changed his name, got a whole new identity, phone number, fucking everything. And then he went missing. And nobody could find him, as is the fucking point.
Yeah.
But it got worse because apparently he was like dying and they found him I guess, and now he's back in America. And
How is he dying?
I don't know. I didn't read the whole article because it was just I got bored.
I didn't click on the article because I don't fucking care about him.
People who watch any of those kids sitcoms and still think they're good as dog shit. You can't tell me.
Well, they're not good. There was only one good one.
I'm gonna get this wrong. You're gonna be pissed.
Say it. There's only one good one.
Good Luck, Charlie.
No. Boy Meets World, dog.
Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World was so good.
It was Sweet Life on Deck with Zach and Cody.
No, fuck those nerds, dude.
Sweet Life. No.
I hate those kids. I hate those kids.
I hate child actors.
I hate children.
I know you do.
Did I ever tell you I met the owner of Onlyfans?
No. Is it you?
No.
Is you live in this
He came to the place I work. Okay.
No fucking way.
I swear to God. And he came in and with this girl who was gorgeous. Okay. And she was ordering. He was wearing a baby blue jacket that said Onlyfans. And I'm like, that's really stupid. God. Why would he wear a jacket that says Onlyfans? Look outside. There's a baby blue, Onlyfans blue Lamborghini. And I'm like, this guy must really like OnlyFans. That's bizarre.
The only guy who pays into it and gets money.
And then the girl was ordering, and she had a very easy to remember name. What was it? It was like
Catherine.
No, it was like Kobe or something, like a basketball player name. I forget, or like something like that.
Must be like a porn name.
I'm like, that's gonna be easy to look up. So Instagram, typed in that, she's the first person there. I look at it, I'm like, yep, that was her, and she's an OnlyFans model.
What?
And then I see his name from his or I Google CEO of OnlyFans, because that was my first thought. I'm like, maybe this guy the CEO. And then I look it up, and it was the guy that was in there.
Fucking
I'm like,
insane.
that is so weird, so strange.
That reminds me of was he a nice guy?
No, he didn't tip. He was very nice. They were both very nice, but I'm like, ooh, this guy's gonna tip a lot. Not a thing.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah, awful.
Did I ever tell you that I met Justin Roiland? I think is his name. Rick and Morty dude.
Yeah.
I met him in 2018. I think it was at the Level Up Expo. He was somewhere. I don't remember where I was exactly. I was like 15. And I saw him, and he was doing the voice. And I was like, hey, I hate to pry, but are you one of the guys a part of Rick and Morty? He goes, I am Rick and Morty.
Does he do both?
Yeah, he does both voices.
Does both voices.
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I read that we only had, I thought that we only had the guy that did the writing. I didn't know we had the voice actor. He goes, that's me too. And I was like,
was he like mean?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, that's me. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I just,
Well,
you know.
your show fucking sucks. Get out of here.
I was like,
It doesn't suck, man.
the
I
first
don't.
2 seasons don't suck. The rest of it's
I don't like when
garbage.
people are like, they just think they're like the best, you know? It
Nah,
sucks.
it's scary. I think that it was funny when they were playing off of, it's Back to the Future, but but Doc Brown's an alcoholic. Like, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was.
But,
I've only seen like the first couple seasons, I think.
and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you because I didn't.
Because you're a fucking cartoon,
Yeah, because
dog.
I was like, yeah, your voice is what I hear, not
Yeah.
your. I don't hear
You
your
don't
face.
recognize me.
Yeah.
No.
So I was just like, so I just said whatever.
What an asshole. That's so weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then what happened? I called it years later. I knew he was an asshole. Then years later, guess what happens? He gets caught beating his wife or girlfriend or whoever. Who would have fucking guessed?
Now
Do you-
he's off the show?
Yeah, they kicked him out. They kicked.
So there's new voices now?
I don't know if there's new voices. I don't know. I think they finished the season. And I
okay.
think they're
So
like,
this was just recently.
yeah, this is just recent. I think they're
Okay.
between. I haven't kept up with Rick and Morty, but I think they're between shows right now,
Mhm.
and they're like trying to figure out because he's in court and they're battling whether it's like, okay, well maybe it was self defense. Does he have an alcohol issue? Well, he does have an alcohol issue. Yeah, there's like they're all trying to like decipher like what is the root of this issue and should we bring this guy back on? Because that's a big thing in media. It's like, how dare you guys have this misogynistic guy or have this guy who's a drug addict or whatever on your show? How dare you have someone that's so horrible be a part of your creation? And it's like, we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't
No.
know. Like,
We
didn't
pay
know.
him because
We
he's-
assume he's a normal human being when we
pay him
hired him.
because he looks good and acts well. We don't pay him because, dude, this guy fucking knows how to beat his wife. We gotta get this guy
Yeah,
out here.
Jesus,
Like,
man.
they don't know that shit.
Yeah.
But I think that it's like you continue to have them, and it's like, well, yeah, that's how we make money.
Well, they should. I think it's fair.
It's
to get
fair,
if
but-
someone, if it's something that bad, get rid of them. You can
Yeah.
find something. Like everybody is replaceable. I don't care who you are.
There apparently there's been
Everybody's
people
replaceable.
sending in recordings of them trying to do the Rick and Morty,
Especially
sound.
when you have successful seasons. There's already hundreds of thousands of people that nailed that voice
Oh
already.
yeah, but there's people going who's like, but my name's Rick. Hire me, please, to replace Royland. And then it's like, okay,
Hired.
hired. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you are now the face of my company. Back to like the titty thing. It's back to the titty streamer OnlyFans thing. Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Okay. In one of the Tomb Raiders, they had an actress. It was like for the trailer or something. For the promotional material, they had an actual model play as Lara Croft, and she said a couple lines, struck a couple poses, and then was on a cover of like Game Informer or something.
Yeah.
And then the game released, and then we fucking forgot about it. She went on to do a Playboy magazine wearing the costume, and she broke so many contracts doing that. She got in a lot of fucking trouble for it. They
Oh,
were like,
yeah.
"We did not give you permission to
Because
take
that's a likeness. You can't do
a
that.
likeness.
Yeah.
Like, we did not give you permission to put on a tank top and a pair of booty shorts and pretend to be Lara Croft on Playboy, because it makes them look bad. It's a game for kids at the time.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, she got apparently a lot of. This is like 20 years ago, but she got in a shitload of trouble. And
Yeah, that sucks.
that does.
I mean, you should have thought about that. Ask your lawyer or something. Maybe she didn't have a lawyer because the lawyer would have said, "Please don't."
yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do
or
that.
if you want to, we'll ask. Like, we can still do that.
Yeah.
But I think they kind of let go a lot of the charges because she made enough money. I think she like just paid them off as like, here, do 200,000 in repairs and like emotional harm to you wearing a bikini.
Yeah. It's so weird that you can sue for that.
I know it's likeness is a strange thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Because there is fair use,
there's fair use,
but if you're a big enough company, there's no such thing.
but you can copyright your fucking face, which is insane.
Yeah.
Which, why don't my parents copyright my face? They made it.
Does that mean you'd get in trouble for using it?
Would I? Could they sue me?
I think your
Let's
parents
see.
want to sue you.
I'm gonna send them a cease and desist for having half of my likeness.
Hey!